So mindful consumption of everything, especially food. Same thing with media. The media is trying to make you feel fearful so they can A, manipulate you,
So
and
you
B,
pay attention
sell
to
things.
them,
So
yeah.
you pay attention so they can sell you their products when the commercial comes on, and they let you think which way their narrative is going to go. And like we said before, there's no right side and wrong side. Just the fact that you think there's two sides, that they've made you think that there's two sides, is ridiculous.
And that forces your unconscious brain onto a side, whether you know
From
it or
just
not.
tribalism and human nature.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to feel safer if I pick a side because now I have a team and a tribe, and that makes the other guys enemies, and now we're fighting.
Yeah.
When rich billionaires and politicians are fucking cashing the check on both of you
It's
guys.
like when like fucking Mets and Yankees fans, or it's like when the Eagles fan, or football's good, like Eagles fans and Giants fans get in a fight, and then like Tom Brady and Eli Manning are like dabbing up on the field, like,
Yep.
good job, bro.
Yep, that's exactly what it's like. That's a perfect
It's like,
example.
hey, you guys don't know what's
They
going
know
on.
this is a game. Exactly. There's Democrats and Republicans going to steak dinners on your fucking tax dollars all the time. And when you're punching an Eagles fan and throwing a fucking battery and a brick at a Giants fan, they're fucking shaking hands after because they're millionaires and they know it's just a game and it's just a colored jersey.
Yeah.
Once you realize that life is just a game, it feels much better to play the game with A, awareness, and B, love in your heart. The Bridge Podcast, coming at you once again. Sean Nixon here.
John Matthew.
How the hell are you?
It's been an interesting week or so, but I'm feeling good, man.
Yeah, the transition to communism is swift and not good for anybody.
People have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feelings.
It's okay to have feelings.
A lot of feelings are good enough.
It's important to feel feelings. Let's not even go there. Let's control what we can control.
Positive
because listen,
energy.
This war, we are going there because I'm taking
Already
it there.
happened.
This war is not fucking guns and bombs and riots that they're claiming it is on the media. This is a spiritual war where you're pretending to be free, but they have you thinking how they want you to think. So you can free yourself from their chemical poison food, chemical medicine, fucking sitting at the computer all day and not getting out and walking. Like the government never tells you to do those things. So we're telling you to do those things so you can free yourself.
It's way more important than what most people are telling you.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So the hate and the fear and seeing people as different than you just by the ways that they're different instead of realizing we're 99% the same.
Because the either side, the fact that their sides
Is already
should tell
silly.
you something to
Right.
begin with. But whatever side, this means both sides are angry, which is perfect because I just brought up that Ralph Waldo Emerson quote to you.
Read it.
For every minute you remain angry, you give up 60 seconds of peace of mind.
Nothing is
And
worth
how
your
often
peace
does
of
that
mind.
minute snowball into an hour, into a week, into a day, and all of a sudden
Always.
you will die, look back in your life, I spent most of my life angry when I didn't have
You know the rule of 5 when you get pissed? Is this going to matter in 5 minutes?
Whoa.
Is this going to matter in 5 weeks?
Whoa.
Is this going to matter in 5 days? I went out of order. Is this going to matter in 5 years?
What's this one? Is that 4?
Whatever. No, I'm
Months.
just saying like 5. Is it going to matter in
Yeah.
5 minutes? Is it going to matter in 5 hours? And you go, I don't need to be angry anymore. Because if not, that 1 minute snowballs. You've lost your peace of mind. And then you're like, oh, but I only listen to the fitness podcast because I want to get jacked and tan. It's like you're raising your cortisol unnecessarily and you're living in a state of fear, which is in a state of growth. And they have you by the balls, metaphorically.
Fear leads to stress. Stress leads to inflammation. We're finding out now, which a lot of Eastern medicine know for a while, inflammation is the #1 cause of most diseases, including cancer, heart disease,
So,
Alzheimer's, Parkinson's.
saving lives. Today, we are breaking down the second pillar, which is consumption. And once we run through each one real quick, you're going to see that you can never stop consuming. Like you can't stop people like, kill your ego. You don't want to kill your ego. You want to be aware of your ego and that you are more than that. You're never going to stop your consumption. What we want is conscious consumption. Conscious consumption of what you eat, drink, watch, hear, see, the people you're around, the products you buy. And
Yeah. It's a good point you bring up too, because we were just talking about all the spiritual masters, the Jesuses, the Buddhas, but the Buddha was an ascetic first. And ascetic means to just deny everything. So you live with pretty much like a loincloth. You consume literally nothing. But even he found this is not the way.
No.
It's like it's just more. It's suffering to get the way.
Yeah, you still do the things. You still do the
still
human
think the things,
things.
feel the things.
Yeah. You just don't identify with those feelings and those things. You're like, oh, John is sad now. Look at this motherfucker. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And you learn from it.
And I think dietary nutrition is a really good point to that, because what I'm consuming is for me, or is it for my body? It's for my body.
Wow,
Right?
that's beautiful.
It's for both, but
It is
really
for both.
to sustain my physical body, which is my vehicle for enlightenment, according to Buddha.
I love it.
Double Buddha connection.
So we're talking double Buddha. That's going to be we're going to rename the show.
Double Buddha.
Two Buddhas. Nutrition. We're talking about food, hydration, supplements, stuff that you're putting in your face and swallowing. We'll come back around to that, but basically that's what we're talking about: nutrition, food, water, supplements. Media. We're talking multimedia. We're not just talking Fox and CNN and whatever the fuck. We're talking Netflix, Spotify,
Instagram.
literally, social media. Any media you're consuming, music, movies, a billboard, a newspaper, a magazine, is all forms of media, okay? So once again, it's not cancel all your subscriptions and whatever. It's be conscious and aware of everything that is coming at you unconsciously is trying to sell you something through fear or targeting, marketing or whatever, which is fine as long as you're aware of it and you don't fall for their tricks.
Which is the whole point of billboards. You're just driving, and you're kind of in this. People get into that little zone when they're driving where they're kind of unconscious. And I'm reading a sign.
That goes in your subconscious, and the next time you need something, it's.
And people don't understand. Like, I wasn't actually thinking about going to sales. That's not the point. It's going deeper, and you're not even aware of it. That's what gets it. And then all of a sudden, maybe a couple months from now, like, maybe I'll go to sales.
Boom.
Gallery of Diamonds.
Boom.
We're not sponsored, but if you want to help us out in sales.
Not yet. But we don't need fancy diamonds. We'll get sponsored by some crystals or some shit.
Oh, that'd be actually. But yeah,
That'd be
nutrition.
nice. Crystal company. So, media, multimedia. That's everything, right? Products. Just so you know, what you put on your hair, your skin, and your teeth goes into your bloodstream. So if you're eating organic and then you're poisoning yourself with your products, you're not really doing what the best you can for your body. So
even the air is getting into your body.
And air, well, we'll get to that.
Air,
but yeah, but it's like if you got fluoride in the toothpaste and fucking chemicals in the mouthwash and fucking all kinds of parabens and estrogenic fucking bullshit and lotions and all this stuff.
If you look at the back of the bottle and you don't know what it is, you don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's worth, we'll get to it, but it's worth buying natural and organic products. I always get no parabens, no animal testing, all these things. Products, so, you know, like I said, hair, teeth, skin, but also your clothes, your toys, whatever you're buying.
Touch 'em.
Be conscious of it. Don't have them sell it to you and then you regret it later, and then we're in this regret, blame, shame, fear, guilt fucking cycle again. Think about it. Take a deep breath. Is this serving me? Is this going to help me in the future, or do I just want this temporary instant gratification?
Yeah.
I'm making this choice for me, not being sold by a big company.
Because if you don't make that choice consciously, the company's going to make it for you.
They will.
Because they already have. They're just burdening your brain.
You are the product. You know, and we'll get to that when we talk about media. Like social media is free because you're the fucking product. You know what I'm saying? They know this. So be aware of this. If you haven't seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix, you need to see that, because if you have social media and you haven't seen that, you're in for a rude awakening. That's a must watch. Then the fourth block in this pillar is energy. So that's going to be friends, family, coworkers, the people you come around, even strangers. Anybody that you're near is an exchange of energy, positive or negative, right? But also electric products, right, have EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, that you're getting energy from them, but it's not good energy. Plants and animals have a different energy. That's why we're always telling you to get out in nature. So everything throughout your day is some type of energy exchange.
Light energy, UV energy, radiation.
Exactly. And we're not even talking fucking hippie crystal shit. We're talking scientific
That's actual
vibrations.
science.
Right.
That's basic.
Everything is made of energy. We've already gone over
frequency,
Yeah, E equals MC
We
squared.
know this, yeah.
We've gone over this. So let's take it from the top. Nutrition. I'm always, if we're talking about supplements, we have a supplement episode. They should be minimal, they should be high quality, only what you need to fill in the gaps, right? To supplement your diet, all right? Hydration, we already talked about. Electrolytes, minerals, filtered water. We didn't go too deep into pH and alkalinity and acidity and stuff like that, but filtered water. Don't be drinking tap water or plastic bullshit water, right? But food. When I'm thinking about food, this doesn't matter whether you are claiming your lifestyle as a vegan, as a vegetarian, as fucking keto, as carnivore, all this shit. That doesn't matter. Paleo, South Beach, Mediterranean, these diet styles don't matter. We're talking about a lifestyle of diet, of nutrition. And once again, if you're going no meat, if you're going no vegetables, if you're going no carbs, if you're going no whatever, if you're eating whatever the hell you want, but tracking it and calling it if it fits your
Just eating
macros,
rice
flexible
cakes,
dieting,
if all you eat is rice cakes?
that's fine. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is there's basically 5 points to buying food, in my opinion. There's the price, things to consider. The price, the taste, the macronutrients, the ingredients, and environmental factors, right? So a lot of people just look at taste only and disregard what it's going to do to your body or the fucking environment. Some people look at price only, which is understandable, but there should be a hierarchy and consciousness in each one of these choices, right? So for me, the macronutrients matter because I'm trying to fit it into what fits for me. The ingredients matter even more because I don't want shit that's going to poison me because I know what works for my body and what doesn't. Stan Efferding says, I don't eat foods that I like, I eat foods that like me.
Ooh, I like
It's a good
that.
one. So once you become aware of that, then you can eat, then we'll go up to taste, which is then you find things that have ingredients that you can digest properly and taste good for your preferences because of all this detachment that we talk about. You're still allowed to have preferences.
Really?
Non-judgment, yeah. You don't judge other people's preferences, but you're allowed to have your own preferences.
Well, sometimes you do.
And then the problem becomes of not judging yourself for judging. Because then we're in guilt, blame, shame, fear, hate again. And the last thing is like environmental factors. So it's like, is eating meat bad? The answer is not enough information to complete this sentence. You don't complete this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you ethically hunted that meat or ethically farmed that meat and it was grass-fed.
Isn't that how people always ask you questions? It's always in a vacuum. That means, do you like
Always
cats
in
or
a vacuum.
dogs? Well, I mean, are you talking about Cujo and a saber-toothed tiger? Or is it like a little house cat? Or is it a dog that hates me? There's like so many variables. But do you just like cats or dogs? I'm like, I like both. Oh, I hate you guys. Never made
Context
Pick a side.
and intent. Yeah, cats and dogs. You a cat guy or a dog guy? The best is, you tits or an ass? I'm like,
I like everything. I'll have it all. One of each.
two of each.
Two of each.
Fuck it. And you know what I'm saying? So that I'm like, that blows my mind. I'm like, okay, you're allowed to have preferences, but you're really just trying to put me in this box here so you feel comfortable defining
You're doing
me.
this for you.
You're doing this for
as
you.
a convenience.
As a convenience. So that guy's that guy.
So that makes it a lot easier for me to just understand them.
And that's literally what stereotypes are. You're prejudging. That's the definition of prejudice. Not really a good thing, guys.
Stop it.
So, environmental factors. Is fucking shitty farm-raised in a tank salmon good for you? No. Is wild-caught salmon good for you? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you don't want to eat fish, that's fine too. That's not what we're saying. We're saying consciously choose the right factors in nutrition that's going to serve you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And how the hell does that add up? It does. The layers affect everything. But you can't worry about the layers. Once you're aware of them, you just get to these blocks and start making conscious choices.
Yeah, this is the action steps
Yes.
here. And it's, like you said, it is tough to, when you talk about when you feel the difference with food, especially because most people just sense it in the one way, or I guess 3 ways, right?
Right.
The taste, the smell, and the texture, right? And that's what defines the food for me. But I can't taste the amino acids, I can't taste the vitamins, I can't feel that
Or the
happening in
life
my
of
body.
that plant or animal and how it
Exactly.
was raised or grown.
Yeah, and everything is going back, and this is not woo, this is science. Everything has light energy, right? the animal you eat, if you're a carnivore, if you eat meat, ate plants that got their energy, photosynthesis, from the sun. Literally. If you're a vegetarian, you're literally eating things that got their energy from the sun, things that are growing because of the sun.
So if you're a vegetarian, that's great, but that doesn't make you better than anybody, because let's pretend you're, vegan plant warrior, and you're eating Doritos and Oreos because they're vegan.
Are Oreos vegan?
Oh yeah, it's got the V right on the box.
Doritos are? What's that cheese?
V right. That ain't no cheese, man. That's powdered fucking bullshit dust. Pixie fucking government, big pharma dust in there. You know what I'm saying? Or you go to McDonald's and you order a salad, so you're better than somebody else, but you just contributed to an evil corporation that's killing more animals unethically than anybody else.
Yeah, what do you do if you're like the CEO of McDonald's? Like I have a
He's
responsibility.
eating organic caviar. He has only responsibility to the shareholders.
Yeah. It's a woman now.
Well, there you go. She knows the deal, and she's on a yacht right now, laughing, eating fucking organic wild-caught sushi.
While McDonald's sponsors the Olympics, which is a paradox in and of itself.
Hilarious. Right. Well, there you go. So just because your favorite sports star is advertising or buying the thing doesn't mean that you need to consume that and buy it yourself. So same thing like food. Like there's an ethical way to be a vegan. If you're getting your healthy fats and you're getting your amino acids and you're buying organic when you can and local vegetables when you can, phenomenal. There's an ethical, intelligent, and healthy way to eat meat as well. Organic, wild-caught, grass-fed, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, going like the salmon example, like is overfishing the seas bad? Yeah,
100%.
But is the idea of eating a salmon in and of itself, you could say it is bad depending on your perspective, but from a dietary, biological perspective, has a lot of nutrients that are beneficial to the body.
Exactly, and that's the way I think about it.
This is from somebody who eats mostly plants.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, is this going to be good for my physique goals or performance goals? Is this going to be good for my body and my health? Is this going to be good for my taste buds? Is this going to be good for my wallet? Is this going to be good for the environment? And you should have known a long time ago, voting doesn't mean shit and the whole fucking thing is rigged. But what's real is voting with your dollar. You know what I'm saying? What you pay for is supporting that company.
Yeah.
So that company either lives or dies or gets elected or not based upon what we consume and buy and purchase. So that's why I don't buy Nike, McDonald's, all these fucking things. Doesn't make me perfect, but I still use Amazon and they're, you know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, I had this conversation
perfect.
with I forget who, but like it's one of the, it's like, it's very convenient. It has everything I need, but I don't support it. But at the same time, and that's, we're seeing more people just consuming what's the generally available thing, right? Versus it takes effort.
That's what I mean, and that's what we're here for.
Find a small business that has what you need.
To teach us shit that they don't teach you in school, and to be conscious and put a little effort into what you buy and what you put in your body. Same thing with media, the social media. If you're sad and depressed, but you're fucking comparing yourself to everybody on social media that's got steroids, filters, photoshops, and you're just pill popping and scrolling mindlessly, it doesn't fucking help you. Okay? Same thing. If you're sad and you're watching sad movies, what do you think you're going to be? You're going to be sad. Movies are made to shift your emotions.
And it trains you to be superficial, essentially, if you're doing that, right? Like if I'm looking and I'm comparing, right? All I have is just a picture that's some sort of angle, potentially Photoshop, potentially all this stuff.
And your brain works in stories. So now you're telling a story that you're not good enough and you're not as good as this person and blah, 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 blah. And you don't know if that's fake and staged and set up.
Yeah, and the amount of people I know who post stuff on social media who aren't happy, like, best spouse ever, and then I know the relationship is crumbling. Well, that's now you're just using that as a crutch and some sort of putting the responsibility on other people to support it or the media itself. So there's a lot of ways that the consuming that and being a purveyor, not just a consumer of the media too as well, is take responsibility for that.
Take responsibility
for what you're projecting out and what you're putting in.
100%. Same thing. Like just know. Because there's like layers to mainstream media too. There's people that are brainwashed. CNN is the only truth. Fox is the only truth. Then you got the next level up, which is like I flip back and forth to see the far left side, the far right side, and kind of know the truth is in the middle. Yeah. Then the real truth is they're both owned by the same fucking corrupt billionaires, and they're not. Neither the left nor the right is telling the truth.
The point I always say is I don't just say news. I say like media news corporations because it has to be because people forget this. Like they're not for profits.
That's the
They're not doing it
thing.
for the
It's
good.
not their fault.
They're not doing it out of the goodwill of their
No,
heart.
they're doing it
Not
to
that
make
they're
money.
bad people, but they're doing it to make money. That's the bottom line.
That's
Profit.
very nice of you to say that. I would say that they're bad people, but that's not the point. The
Bad
point,
things.
Right?
Yeah.
The point is, they're just trying to make money. They're not trying to tell you the
everybody-
truth. Why would they tell you the truth when they have clickbait headlines and fear-based bottom lines?
The way all that stuff makes money is attention. Everything's just vying for your attention, vying for you to become a consumer of what they have to give you.
I don't watch TV, but you ever be watching the game and then there's like news at 11: a 4-year-old boy drowns face down in the bathtub. And you're like, what the fuck?
And now back to the Clippers.
I'm trying to watch Aaron Rodgers fucking cut up Russell Wilson on Sunday night, and you got to hit me with this, like, and then everybody's like, "Oh my God, I have to tune in to see what happened." Like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. For one,
No, you
definitely
don't have to fall for that. I don't blame them for clickbaiting
What keeps you like? It's actually it's actually a common expression, but it's like I can't look away from the car accident. I can't look away from it, right?
That used to bother me too. Now I'm working on my anger, but like, there's no traffic on your side. There's no accident on your side, but there's traffic because everybody's looking.
Rubbernecking.
Ew.
Yeah.
Fucking drive.
But I pay attention to I can't.
Jesus
Christ!
I
can't look away. Yes, you can. It just
You
takes
can.
conscious
Just be
effort.
aware that you're not the only human being on the
But
planet.
to my point, so what's the best way to get people's attention? Tell them about all the accidents that are happening.
Yeah.
Show them a bunch of
Just
accidents.
fear
all
and
negative
death and fear and death. So
if you put up a count on every news station, right? Let's have a count for how many people died of cancer today, how many people were raped today, how many people how many babies just died.
those numbers would blow your fucking mind.
And you weren't aware of it before, but it's always been. It's always
the
been.
mainstream narrative is how many cases, and the cases are spiking, and COVID.
And not that COVID is not real, but the idea of the programming, you just become aware of that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's literally, it could literally
it's a
be
real
anything.
disease.
I remember what. Do you
The
remember,
hype
do
is
you
what's
remember
bullshit.
Coney 2012? Do you remember that? It was that guy who had like that fake organization to combat like African children, but it was
But he was trafficking the kids.
it was a whole scam.
It was a
thing.
complete
But
scam.
everybody became aware of it. Everyone's sharing it all over Facebook because it became a big deal. That's just been going on forever. Because you are aware of it right now doesn't mean it's.
Just so you know, we are recording this January 11th, which is National Human Trafficking Day.
Is it really?
And January is, some people are doing Carnivore Month, but it's also Human Trafficking Awareness Month, as far as abuse to anybody. I was going to say women and children, but there's boys that get not only trafficked and sexually assaulted and raped, but just bullied and abused and everything. Just be aware of it, okay?
Yeah.
And do what you can. You know, I've donated some money and some time and some things. It doesn't make me better than anybody. But when they're just saying COVID is killing everybody, when it's really not, and it's a $150 billion a year industry of people getting kidnapped and raped and sold, like, that's fucking crazy to me.
Across the entire world, not just America.
Fucking crazy to me. For reference, the NFL makes $12 million a year. That's a fucking pimple on an elephant's ass compared to this fucking shit. And it fucking angers me, but I'm working on it. Because you can only control what you can control.
And then to flip the whole car accident thing, looking away from the car accident is also, because you're afraid to see what's actually there, is also not the best idea. You know, I read as much terrible, horrible stories in a week as I do really positive stories because I want to know all, I want to see all of it.
But that's
I don't
balance
want to be blind to anything.
and awareness, because you're not blind.
Because how can we all say that we want the best for the world if we're too afraid to look at the dark things that happen?
It's beautiful. So don't be consumed by 100% darkness, but be aware that it's there.
That's-
So anytime you push something away,
That's any
it's still
spiritual
there.
teacher. Know your shadow, be aware of it, see it in the world, be aware of their limitations of seeing it, and then now we can
Love it
change
if you
things.
can. Because that's the thing. The more you push something away,
You're
the more you're becoming
creating
real.
res-
Yeah,
it's the more resistance there is.
that's when you're real. Because that's when it feels like the cheat code to life is when you see your downs and your suffering as learning lessons, and you're like, oh shit, this is great. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
It sucks now, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because then the highs are still the highs, and the lows are just lessons. That's advanced level shit, but we'll get there. Where were we? Products. So same thing. Like when you're buying clothes and fucking makeup and whatever, we're getting to energy.
Okay.
People's energy.
Yeah.
Everything energy.
Oh, this is what I was about to bring up. Yoga teacher, like my first yoga class in person I went to, she mentioned this, which I thought was really cool. But like when you see dogs and they fight and they get in a fight with each other, and they walk away from each other, whatever, and they kind of give themselves like a little, like a shake. They're just shaking off that
They are.
energy. Or like when a dog walks in the room to somebody who's kind of a dick, and they can tell that person's a dick.
Immediately.
Or that person, yeah.
But even to get the woo-woo hippie bullshit out of the way, have you ever been around someone that's an asshole and a negative Nancy and a Debbie
you can feel
Downer?
that shit.
You feel like shit after, don't
And if
you?
you've been around someone who's awesome, loving, kind, that shit radiates. That's
And then you're talking behind their back like, John's a fucking hilarious guy. I fucking like hanging out with this fucking guy.
That's why, like when people talk about the Jesuses, the Buddhists, that's why people were so apt to worship them, is because they could feel palpable.
Yeah, good point. And none of them said, don't worship me. Be your own light. Be a good person. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. Whatever. And then once again, politics hijacks it and makes them the messiah, so they could brainwash you and profit off of it and use manipulation of the masses. But that's a great point. Is they're like, whoa, this is a great person.
Yeah, because I got taking the yoga teacher training and learning about all these Yogananda, all the famous teachers, and you talk to people who've actually met them. They're like, you walk in the room and you can feel it.
Oh
you can feel it. You know it's happening. You know it's there.
Oh yeah.
There's definitely
they're just vibrating on a higher level of their consciousness, and that's
science. That's not like I'm vibrating like a
no. I'm talking EEGs and EKGs that you can measure vibrations and frequencies for sure.
We're all just atoms, right? Just
vibrating all around,
this is not a
bumping into
hand.
each other.
This is not a hand. This is a bunch of atoms.
We call it a hand, but it's atoms
for the sake
smushed
of our
together.
own understanding. But
we're just bumping into each other. So think about that as energy, but then like I said, if you're around too many electronics and never get outside and get fresh air, that energy weighs on you as well. Like you
Feng
said,
shui.
that's a real thing. That is a real thing. People think that's bullshit, but the energy of how your surroundings are set up and the environment that you're in, or you've been to the beach and felt the energy of, maybe not during the day when there's 50 million scumbags leaving trash everywhere and yelling and jumping up and down. But you ever been to the beach at night and you just hear the ocean and you look out and you just feel like a pebble?
That's the best.
It's the best. Or you ever been to the mountains and you feel like a pebble? That's some energy right there that you can feel, and it heals you.
Yeah.
Feels good.
That's good.
So be mindful of, energy vampires, the negative Nancys, the abusers, the manipulators, what other energy vampires are there?
Mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Energy mosquitoes?
There's energy mosquitoes,
those,
for sure.
Can like smack them.
Smack them. And then they're dead. And then you got to clean up your own mess.
Yeah.
But, palpable energy that you can feel. And you choose. And listen, if you're dating these people, related to these people, working with these people, don't feel obligated that they have to be around forever. You can communicate that they're fucking up your vibe, or you can remove yourself from the situation.
Hey man, your vibe's like really bugging me out right now.
If you say it like that, you may or may not get the best answer and response that you want. But there is ways to communicate with people. And
really?
There are ways.
There are effective ways. Then there's all the other ways that we all do. But.
And it's better to take a deep breath and respond than to react.
Because if you react, it's unconscious. Unconscious, that's what reaction
Precisely.
is, right? That's the whole point of reaction. Which you want to train yourself to react in a positive. You can't train yourself to react unconsciously in a positive way. Just like you get past the ball, you just unconsciously shoot the three.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, there's timing and there's place and time. Like, if somebody throws a jab, hook, you don't have time to take a deep breath and respond. You have to react.
Yeah.
So there's training, like you said.
Yeah.
But you don't let emotion overcome yourself. If you're sad, you can get manipulated. If you're fearful, you can get manipulated. If you're angry, you can lash out and fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
As well.
We've all fucking been there.
I was going to say.
Some stupid shit.
I'm glad you said we all, because I was going to say, I thought I was the only one.
Really? No. Well, that's why I'm talking to everybody, and everybody's upset and angry, and they want everybody else to be upset and angry. I'm like, well, first of all, you want us to fix, we all want this to be fixed. If you're the captain of a ship and your ship's sinking, do you want the captain of the ship to be the guy that's freaking out and angry and upset? No, that's not the guy who makes the changes.
Nope.
If you want to be fearful, angry, upset, and to sit with it and expect everybody else to be doing it, what you're saying is that you don't want things to change, you just want everyone to feel bad. Right? Because the people who do change things aren't the people that are angry or fearful or anxious. They're the people that accept those feelings, they sit with it. All right, Now what?
Let's make the best decision.
Now
here.
what?
Yep.
Yep.
And that's
Because I can
that's-
see beyond the emotion. I'm not tied to my emotion, but we're all it's really sucked into it, and it's not your fault. It's not my fault for all the times we've had.
You're conditioned.
It's conditioned.
So now that you become aware that you've been conditioned
It's
to
all
react
this.
a certain way,
Yeah.
you can decondition yourself and make your own conscious choices. You can think for yourself. You can ask questions.
And it's not easy because there's little payoffs to that energy. Like the angry ones especially because it makes you feel righteous. I'm angry at this person. They're bad. That means I'm good. So
And you have facts to back that up. They did these things, and I do these things, so now I'm righteously mad and angry.
but that doesn't being angry doesn't change anything, right?
Doesn't help you.
No. And if anything, it's going to make you stressful, inflammation. So now you've just weakened yourself, and now you can't be an effective person to go change the world.
Exactly.
So if you want to be your best self, if you really want to make the world a better place, it starts with you, which is what this whole podcast is about.
Protect your energy.
Protect your energy.
And once again, if you're some hippie with the crystals and the beads and all this shit, and you're only thinking about energy, and you're putting your water out for the full moon, and you're blessing everything, and that's great, but you're eating fucking junk, how does that help? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's all connected, man.
And it is all connected, okay? So that's how you take care of this human vehicle, this mammalian body that we have, okay? Everything is equally important.
Yeah, you're emotional, you're spiritual, you're mental, you're physical. It's all
Affected by
different-
everything.
All those layers. That pillar, but we talked about at the very beginning of the intro, all the pillars run into all the layers. So these are all happening on a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual level. Mindful eating, mindless eating, being conscious, the effect it has on your brain. That's just one of the blocks, right? That is touching all four.
Yeah, I mean, just
You
think
know?
about what food can do, right? Just food
The
alone.
vibration of food itself, literally the frequency and vibration of a food, that's good for you, healthy for you, and when it's bad. That's biology, but that's also energy.
Food's affecting your physical, your mental, your emotional. Like, I mean, do we got to go over this? Physical.
Break it down.
Physical is kind of obvious, right?
Yeah.
Calories in, calories out. You have a surplus, you're going to gain
Composition,
weight.
Vitamins.
Right.
Yeah.
So, health,
Chemical
we kind of
reactions
understand
happening in the
physical.
body.
Emotional. Have you ever been hungry and you got angry at somebody? Because that's a real fucking
Hangry.
thing. If you've been hangry before, you understand how food affects your emotion. You ever give a kid a whole bunch of sugar and he's bouncing off fucking walls?
And then you're just like, hey, here's AED.
Throw some fucking pills at him, quick.
Get more
Instead
sugar.
of
Get more pills. Sugar.
less
pills.
sugar. Right. Instead of sugar and pills, instead of meth,
Give him sugar pills.
instead of
Plus placebo his ass into becoming.
instead of crack and meth for the children, how about real food and some love and attention? Okay?
It's a lot of work,
So
yeah.
where are we at? That's mental, emotional, physical, so spiritual with food. Once again, that's where people get into the no meat type of thing.
Yeah.
But then, like I always say, like even vegetables have some karma to them. Like if you want to be a fruitarian, because the tree gives up the fruit and doesn't harm the tree, and as long as it's organic or natural environment type of fruit, you'd be completely karma free.
Yeah. Well,
We're digging too far into this, but a lot of people diet for spiritual reasons or fast for spiritual reasons.
Well, that's the.
So that would be no food.
Well, that's the. This is some more woo
Alchemy?
spiritual. Yeah, the Ouroboros is that's the symbol in the Enso circle in Taoism, the circle that keeps eating itself. Life consumes life.
Yes, really does.
Yeah, but it consumes itself because literally everything is everything.
When I die, my soul is going to be born into another body, but this fucking body is going to become worm food, which is going to become grass, which is going to become
A tree somewhere.
a tree somewhere, or grass that a cow is going to eat that my next life is going to fucking eat a steak from.
See, that sounds woo, but let's break it down
I'm
like
eating myself.
scientifically. Like literally, what happens? No, because people were so detached from death. For one,
Right.
How many people have ever seen a body decompose? Very few people. Bodies fucking decompose. Bones stay alive for a long time, fossil and whatnot, but even those break down. Where's that going into? It's going to the earth. Well, what did you come out of? Did you not come out of the earth? Well, no, I came out of vagina. Well, if you keep going back far enough, back then, if you believe in science, that means you probably also believe in evolution from a single cell organism. So we literally all evolved from a single cell organism back into ourselves.
I
No
believe
woo-woo there.
The best part, the best part about science is you don't have to believe in it for it to be real. I love it. So that's how food is hitting each layer, and media, and the same thing, and the products. So listen, let's recap. We already know you want filtered water, minimal but high quality supplements, high quality food. I don't care whether they're going no meat, no vegetables, no this, no that. Doesn't matter. consciously consume it. Even when the food is there itself, mindlessly scarfing things down and not tasting
Been there
it.
before.
Oh, please, I invented that.
Just swallow a foot long hole.
Swallowing, thinking
That's
about
it.
my next meal.
Yeah.
While I'm eating this one. Talk about not being present.
Yeah, or just I've stopped doing this since, but the watching media or TV while eating, which is so easy to do, and I do it occasionally. But like this morning, I was gonna go. Okay, let me look at my schedule. I had my music playing. I'm like, wait, no. I'm gonna get. I close it down.
Look at that.
Turned it off.
Becoming aware of patterns. I'm going to sit and enjoy this food because nutrition,
Yeah, because
nutrition for my body,
it's
and then I'm going to get to work.
because that's just an action of showing me how important that meal meant to me, and it made a difference. It honestly does make a difference.
I actually like to turn the volume up and the closed captioning on, so the crunching and munching doesn't get in the way of my fucking reality TV or whatever the fuck.
I love closed captioning.
So mindful consumption of everything, especially food. Same thing with media. The media is trying to make you feel fearful so they can A, manipulate you,
So you
and
pay
B,
attention
sell
to them.
things. So you pay attention so they can sell you their products when the commercial comes on, and they let you think which way their narrative is going to go. And like we said before, there's no right side and wrong side. Just the fact that you think there's two sides, that they've made you think that there's two sides, is ridiculous.
And that forces your unconscious brain onto a side, whether you know
From
it or
just
not.
tribalism and human nature.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to feel safer if I pick a side because now I have a team and a tribe, and that makes the other guys enemies, and now we're fighting.
Yeah.
When rich billionaires and politicians are fucking cashing a check on both of you
It's
guys.
like when like fucking Mets and Yankees fans, or it's like when Eagles fan, or like football's good, like Eagles fans and Giants fans get in a fight, and then like Tom Brady and Eli Manning are like dabbing up on the field, like,
Yep.
good job, bro.
Yep, that's exactly what it's like. That's a perfect
It's like,
example.
hey, you guys don't know what's
They
going
know
on.
this is a game. Exactly. There's Democrats and Republicans going to steak dinners on your fucking tax dollars all the time. And when you're punching an Eagles fan and throwing a fucking battery and a brick at a Giants fan, they're fucking shaking hands after because they're millionaires and they know it's just a game and it's just a colored jersey.
Yeah.
Once you realize that life is just a game, it feels much better to play the game with A, awareness, and B, love in your heart.
So yeah, you said it first. That's the whole starting for all these is going to be awareness first, right?
Yep.
That's what conscious media consumption is awareness of what you're consuming. And then you also brought up a really great point. Tab back to Buddha, double Buddha, is attachment. Attachment is suffering. So if you attach yourself to whatever team, to even your identity of who you are, you by nature detach yourself from everything else.
We've seen it. Athletes, they break down when they retire because they've attached themselves to my life as an athlete. And now I'm 35 and I have to retire and I don't know who I am. Mothers, I'm a loving mother. I'm not a perfectly whole, complete woman when my children go off to college.
No, yeah.
But you are.
But you are.
But you are. You're still a mother. You're not losing anything. You're still whole and complete.
Or in the worst scenarios, when a kid shoots up a school, it becomes attached to what other people have bullied him
Sure.
for, or what he believes himself to be.
You're right.
And
Don't
if we could
believe the
disassociate
bullshit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't believe other people's bullshit. Products. Don't be sold on things. Take a deep breath. Do I really need this? Is this serve me in the future? Can I afford this? Is this a smart purchase? Does it help me, the environment, and other people? Keep in mind, what you put on your hair, skin, and teeth goes into your bloodstream just like food and water and supplements.
Skin's largest organ in the body.
It's absorbing.
You talk about pores. Everyone's all concerned about their pores, but what do you think they are? Like, they're
And then they slap more chemicals on
literally
the pores.
entrances into your body.
Literally.
Literally an entrance to your body.
And then energy, like we said. Not no hippie shit. Be around people that raise your energy. We always say as personal trainers, every client you ever have is either going to give you energy or take away energy based upon their bullshit and their effort and their hard work. And their progress gives you energy. And when they're coming in late and half-assing and not doing their homework and eating like shit and skipping sessions, it drains your energy because you care. And if you don't, then you got to work on yourself. But either way, that's what we're here for, is to help you work on yourself, because they don't teach you this shit in school. They're not going to tell you this shit on Facebook or CNN or Fox or any of this nonsense. Doesn't mean stop using those things. I'm not saying delete any accounts or turn off the TV. You probably should once in a while and take breaks and go for walks.
Better things to do.
There's better things to do. But if you want to do that, it feels better when you're choosing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Awareness.
We've both watched Fox and CNN
Yeah.
a lot of times for the laughs or to see what the narrative is or
Yeah.
to say, oh shit, they said this. Let me
Or because they did get me and they did do some
for a minute,
fear-mongering.
and then
Yeah,
you
for a minute.
right, and then you become aware of it
Yeah.
and Google 6 different sources, and you're like, oh,
Category 7 hurricane
This is
coming.
what they meant,
Turns
right.
out to be a tropical storm.
every fucking time.
Every time a hurricane comes.
All right. So awareness, conscious consumption. We're back with the next one. You know the next one? I don't.
I don't.
Sleep, maybe. That's a big
Probably
one.
sleep. Sounds right. We'll sleep
If
on
it
it.
feels right, you do it. I love it. We'll sleep on it and we'll get back to you. Ew!
Ew.
The bridge.
Das Bridge.
Peace.